Welcome to our video today. In our video today, we are going to analyze Arsenal Football Club. In our analysis of Arsenal Football Club, we are going to analyze how Mikel Arteta is faring on with his project at Arsenal. You know, last season Arsenal missed out the league title by drawing and losing crucial games at the end of the season, and this saw them lose the league to Manchester City. But this cannot be written off of how outstanding Arsenal were last season and how they are building up their season today so that they can have a successful season next season. But before we continue, like, share and subscribe to this channel. So Arsenal are rumored to be bringing Declan Rice in, as well as they have completed the signing of Kai Havertz. We are going to see how Arsenal will employ these two players. So Arsenal lined up in a 4-3-3 formation, playing their wingers wide so that they can be able to stretch the opposition's backline to create spaces for the attacking midfielders to attack the half spaces, forming a 5-man front line with two number 10s in the two half spaces. Thomas Partey played as a single holding midfielder, which could be complemented by both Alexander Zinchenko and Ben White inverting in midfield to give Arsenal the 2-3-5 famous by Pep Guardiola's Bayern Munich and Manchester City. Now, in terms without possession, Xhaka is likely to leave Arsenal and therefore will be withdrawn from the squad, and this might see the entry of Kai Havertz. Kai Havertz may be deployed as a number 8, while Partey might also depart the club, and this might see the introduction of Declan Rice in the holding midfield role. So Kai Havertz might start as a number 8 alongside Odegaard, where both will be tasked to attack the half spaces. This might also see the return of Zinchenko and Ben White in the half spaces, or Ben White might be tasked to tuck in and play as a third centre-back with Zinchenko forming the double pivot. So last season we saw Gabriel Jesus dropping from the front line to attack this space in the left-wide channel to create overloads against the opposition. This position by Gabriel Jesus enabled them to have numerical superiority down the left and navigate the opposition's defensive and midfield lines and open up space. The presence of Kai Havertz and his ability to play as a false 9 can draw centre-backs away from Jesus and give Jesus a chance to score a lot of goals through this tactic. Another importance of having Havertz in the team is that when the team are now defending, Havertz will be tasked to drop in and play in midfield alongside Odegaard. But this might cause a problem for Arsenal because Havertz is not good playing deep down the pitch, and we have seen in some instances at Chelsea that he has caused a lot of problems in these positions. So when the opposition have the ball, the opposition can be able to pick runners in behind Havertz if he starts in this deep 8 position during the defensive side. Havertz is an excellent presser but not a space marker, and therefore it is not viable to deploy him as a number 8 pure like Gundogan or Kevin De Bruyne. This might create problems for Zinchenko or any fullback since they will be isolated in a 2v1 situation, and therefore the Arsenal's backline can easily be penetrated because of Havertz's defensive woes in covering spaces. So where should Mikel deploy Havertz to ensure he gets maximum support for him? Mikel might try to introduce the Pep Guardiola system. This system Guardiola implemented at the Premier League in 2021 when he lacked a striker, and this saw the departure of Aguero and Gabriel Jesus, who was sidelined by injury. So Pep had to innovate this season, and still Manchester City won the league that season. So what is this system that Guardiola implemented, where he had no strikers and he had only Jesus? Now Guardiola decided to play with a 4-4-2, but this was a different form of a 4-4-2, a 4-4-2 with two false nines. This 4-4-2 with 2 false nines is not the traditional 4-4-2. It is more of a 4-4-2 that ensures the team has excessive midfield overload. This can be generated by Odegaard pushing from the midfield position as a number 8, the 2 fullbacks inverting in midfield, and the 2 wingers giving the width. This might give Arsenal as many as 6 players in the middle of the park, and this is how Guardiola used to overload midfield during the 2021-2022 season by playing Phil Foden and De Bruyne as false nines. These 2 false nines can occupy the 2 half spaces and therefore spread the opposition's defense line into 2. The fullback and the centre backs tying one false nine, and the other centre back and fullback tying the other. This might give Odegaard some space in zone 14. And when you give Odegaard time and space in this zone, he's able to pick runners, he's able to make shots, and this will create a lot of problems for the opposition. Since Havertz like to attack the right half space, he might shift down the right while Jesus plays down the left so that they can face the goal with their stronger foot. Odegaard in this position, he can be able to pick the wide players, pick the strikers in the half spaces, or attempt a shot on goal. And this is something he does. To enhance maximum defensive solidity, Ben White can drop in and tuck in, and this might give Arsenal clear strength in the team, with Zinchenko and Rice dictating the tempo of the play in midfield as the 2 double pivots. This, coupled by Odegaard's constant dropping in deep midfield positions, the way Tuchel deployed Mason Mount, may force the opposition to pick a player to tie up Odegaard, while they reduce their numbers during the press. This might give the backline time on the ball, and this might be enabled by Jesus and Havertz dropping on either side of the midfield and receiving the ball in between the lines. And this tactical setup might create a lot of havoc for teams when they face Arsenal. Jesus can be able to link up with the winger, bypass the centre back if he dares follows him back, and this might give Jesus a clear run on goal. And if Arteta wants to implement this tactic, he will dominate a lot of teams because he'll have numerical superiority in midfield and in the attacking line. Arteta can also employ a system that Guardiola has been famed and succeeded with this season in winning the treble. This system can solve the inclusion of both Thomas Partey and Odegaard. Why? This might see the sacrificing of Zinchenko, and this might see Thomas Partey coming into the team, because Partey is an asset and a good, solid defensive midfielder. Arsenal might line up in a 4-4-2 with Rice starting as a left centre back, but this might shift in build-up by Odegaard and Havertz occupying the half space, Martinelli and Xhaka playing wide, and Jesus leading the line. But here is where Mikel can employ the Guardiola way, in which Guardiola plays with 4 centre-backs or a defensive midfielder in defence. This is by dropping Rice in midfield during build-up, the way Guardiola drops John Stones, and the way he deployed Rodri in the game against Chelsea at Stamford Bridge. This might see Arsenal having the 3-5 like Manchester City, with Gabriel playing as an orthodox left back, tucking in to form a back 3 with Saliba and Ben White, while Rice and Thomas Partey play in midfield. This 3 at the back system, together with the strong double pivot of Rice and Thomas Partey, might give Arsenal enough security from counter attacks. This might free the likes of Odegaard and Havertz to thrive in the attacking areas, as well as Martinelli and Xhaka to run at the opposing fullbacks. The presence of Thomas Partey and Rice in this team ensure the team are able and are solid both in the attacking and defensive phase. This is a clear tactical problem that Mikel Arteta has to solve. Many anticipate that Rice will be paired together with Odegaard and Havertz, but if Thomas Partey is available, the latter formation makes sense, because Rice is able to play in defense as well as step in midfield and help Thomas Partey in dictating the tempo of the game. We'd like to see what Mikel Arteta has set out for Arsenal, and we'd like to see where they will finish next season. If you've stayed with us till the end of the video, thanks for watching and welcome again.